Wild horses are special to Western culture, and the herd management in Challis has the largest area and largest number of horses in the state. The Bureau of Land Management held their first ever large-scale bait gather to round up the horses. I traveled to Challis to learn more about the 2017 roundup. This is Bandit. He is known by the Stillwell family to be one of their most obedient horses.
He hadn't been saddled for a couple months, Christmas time, and I saddled him and drug the kids around on a sled in the snow. And he was great. He's never pulled anything before, and he didn't care at all.
You would never know he once roamed the mountains as a wild horse before he was adopted after the 2012 Challis Wild Horse Roundup.
It was a first come, first serve kind of a deal, so they got there early to hopefully get the horse he wanted, and he was second in line and got his horse.
Now, 5 years later, the BLM just held their first roundup since Bandit was adopted, and for the first time, they tried a different method called a bait gather.
They get used to coming into the hay, to it being in those certain spots, and then we'll set up a panel corral. It's basically a round pen with the gate, so the horses will kind of walk along the panels, eating the hay, and then walk into the gate. And then we have a couple ways to close the gate.
They had hoped to catch 150 horses, but they only caught 20. This is much lower than past years where they used a helicopter to gather the horses.
The helicopter is extremely effective to catch a lot of horses in some really tough terrain. You know, we can't use the bait gather in some of the places where the horses are at because we just can't get there.
The quota for the herd is 185 horses, but even after the gather, the herd is still much higher at 260 horses. Challis had one of the worst winters in decades, and it has had obvious effects on the herd.
We've put a lot of weight on the horses that we have up there. We did lose one horse after it was gathered, just due to the condition that it came in as.
With only 1 month to gather the horses, the harsh winter also brought new challenges to the BLM.
You know, we have to be able to get a horse trailer to anywhere where we're going to build a trap. One, to build the trap, and then to be able to haul those horses out of there, and it just was really tough.
These are just some of the horses that will either be released back into the wild or adopted by families this coming June.
We have about 5 or 6 adoptables, and then the others are we're gonna treat about 8 mares up there with the fertility control, and then we have about 6 studs that we're gonna turn back out.
Although they're happy to find these horses' families, they are most happy to help continue the Western legacy of the wild horse.
We hope to be able to manage them so that they're healthy, and so that when people go and look at them, they can see healthy wild horses running out through the sagebrush. And you know, we just want to be able to protect them and their habitat for the future. A little bit. He came in fine.
The public is welcome to attend the adoption in June, even if you just want to see the horses and don't plan on adopting. The Challis Field Office has not decided when they will do their next gather.